Hi, my name is Allison Onsmeyer. This is my EDL 854 Module 11 video for giving gifts to students, staff, and community members. Just as an overall view, gifts to these members of the school community should celebrate achievement or special events. These gifts should have a set of guidelines that are followed and they should be written. It is also a good reminder that funds are not for the administrators to loan out, borrow, or give away for the use of gifts. And when we're talking about gifts, we should always use good judgment. When we're talking about gifts to students, it is appropriate to use them for incentives for fundraising events or awards for special achievement. When we talk about fundraising events, we should be giving those to only those who participated. They should be age appropriate and not affect the profit of the fundraiser. When we talk about incentive gifts, the incentive gifts, the money raised and the money that we're going to be using should be by certain student groups. With that said, we should be giving the gifts to those students who are in that student group, and we should never favor one group or another. As far as special achievement gifts, these are meant to commemorate an occasion. They should be nominal in value, age appropriate. Sometimes funding can come from the general fund. A lot of times businesses around town will donate items, or even the athletic fund. When we talk about gifts to staff members, if we're talking about giving incentive gifts for fundraising, they should only, like students, be for those who participated. It was also mentioned that maybe you only focus on the high seller. These gifts should be subtracted from the generated profit. They should be reasonable in cost and no more than 5%. All staff gifts, a lot of times staff can see these as like beginning of the year gifts, teacher appreciation gifts, maybe around the holidays, but these gifts should be nominal in cost. They should come from staff generated funds or donations. Some schools can use the general fund, but it is always best to refer to those district guidelines. These gifts should be useful in the classroom. They should not be cash or items that are redeemable for cash, but instead tangible items and low in dollar amounts. When we talk about giving gifts to community members, and this can include, staff members or students who are going through a particularly rough time, the best thing to do is to seek advice from the district accounting first. Any cash or items that are equivalent to cash that are received by staff as far as like donations, they have to be reported as wages through the district payroll. So most of the time it's the best approach just to ask a parent organization to organize this type of benefit, and they can campaign on behalf of the school. It is also recommended that we should look for a local bank to collect these funds, as these should not show up in bookkeeping records, or the bookkeeping staff should not have an idea of all the funds that are going through. And it's just noted that it's not usually a great idea for like the school to organize that. It's really emphasized that a parent organization should be asked to do that. In summary, gifts are great social interaction. They're going to be used. A lot of schools do it. It's a great way to tell those kids good job, or tell staff members that you're thinking about them, or that you are thankful for all that they do. It's just important to remember that if school funds are used, they must have proper guidelines and procedures, and that these should be followed at all times. And it's best to avoid poor judgment, even if it is for good intention, because sometimes that may be looked bad upon by community members or other district staff. But all in all, I think that gifts are a great idea and are something that schools will continue to use and should be using, just as long as proper guidelines and procedures are followed.